Welcome back to another NHL DFS puck drop here. This is February 9th, Tuesday. I am Hold the Door DFS at Fantasy Sports Insight. I have a proposition for you before we get into this video. If you want to qualify for a free week of NHL premium content at FSI, then all you need to do is A, make sure you're a subscriber, B, like this video, and C, in the comments below, you should see a highlighted comment from me that is saying, who is your favorite point per dollar defenseman on this slate? You do those three things, and you will be entered into a free week of NHL premium content that is about a $10 value, but I think you'll make a lot more than that in that time frame. So, and that premium content is core place for me for every single slate in our premium Discord channel, which is full of phenomenal people. So we are back to our normal format today. I apologize for those that were kind of thrown off by the other format, but that was mostly due to getting back home late from the Super Bowl and also then trying to get this uploaded. So we do have another defenseman on the cover page here, and that is Darnell Nurse, and I will talk a lot about him and the Oilers on this slate. So let's get into it. Tonight's slate, like Matthews, Draisaitl, and McDavid, kind of got there late, but probably definitely didn't pay off his $9K price tag McDavid. So we'll get into that here. The Oilers are going to come in again with the highest implied total, only a minus 190 favorite on the road here against Ottawa. I believe they're on the road again. Again, you're just going to see these teams play each other so often that we're going to see these high implied totals for the Oilers like all season. Especially in these matchups. Then you have the Panthers taking on the Red Wings. They are a 3.4 implied total. Vegas with a 3.4 implied total as well. The Flames 3.2. Stars 3.1. So we have the biggest money line on the favorite on the slate is going to be the Golden Knights, followed up by the Panthers and then the Oilers. The Golden Knights will be hosting. Yeah, they're hosting Anaheim. So let me just see. I think they're hosting. Let me double check that. Yes, they are hosting. So it is a game that I just expect to see a ton of shots on goal by Vegas. These are the type of games that Gibson can take down a GPP if somehow he stops enough. But Vegas's form is insane right now. The highest implied total or highest game total, is Edmonton and Ottawa 6.5. That one closed at 7 tonight. And I expect it to even bump up, and it didn't get that to that mark, but I think we're going to see a lot more goals on today's slate. So let's get into the center position. Honestly, obviously we have McDavid and Draisaitl, and there just isn't a lot else I like above 6K. There's not a lot in there. You got Point and a few other options, but I think these three are your main three targets for your stud defenseman or stud center position players here. McDavid at 9K. He definitely needs 2 points probably to pay off that price tag, and one of them likely a goal if he does not get the 5 shot on goal bonus. So the pressure is going to be there without somebody like Matthews or McKinnon on the slate. I think that is going to push more people to McDavid and might even honestly play Draisaitl and McDavid. As you see tonight, though, because they don't play on the same line, they were off on the power play tonight. They had 6 chances and they didn't score once on the power play. So that's where they'll correlate. And they're going to continue to get those types of chances against Ottawa. But in even strength, Draisaitl and McDavid, rarely correlate. So I think, that part is tough to play them two together. But obviously they can have some connections on the power play. And then Barkov is in just phenomenal form and gets a juicy matchup against Detroit. Honestly, I think if I'm going 7.7 for Barkov, I prefer just to get to Draisaitl, but just because I think if you want to attack the Panthers and play some of their skaters, I prefer to go to Huberdeau or Hornquist for a lot cheaper. So Lindholm, I really like at 6K. He just is becoming a kind of a cash cow. He's always getting that assist. He's got 3 to 4 shots on goal. Just has a really good floor and, has double-digit upside almost every slate. Couturier, I think, is just too cheap in this matchup with the Kings. Not that they're good defensively, but who cares about their defense right now? I think San Jose can still score 3-4 goals in this game, and Couturier would definitely be part of that. Duchesne has been kind of priced around this price tag now for a while, but now without Johansson in there, you have seen him get elevated to the line with Ardmanson and Forsberg, which I think is definitely a boost to him. So I do like him. And then it's kind of like a downgrade to Granlund, because Granlund is now stuck with Cousins and Holla, which I'll mention down here. I mean, Eric Holla is cheap enough, 2.6K on the top line, or whatever line you consider their top line. But he is with a Granlund and Cousins. Cody Glass getting first power play time for Vegas at 4.3K on the third line with Tuck. And then Stevenson is 4.1. He is skating with Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone, but not going to get that first power play. His floor is honestly pretty low if he doesn't get a goal or an assist, but he does have some decent correlation on even strength. And then Nemestikov has a goal in the last 2 games. One of those goals is an empty net goal, so take that with a grain of salt. But he did have still like 5 floor points before that, so I think he's definitely fine at 3.3. He did have that goal against Tampa the game before. So, and then Holla 2.6. He's going to see probably 16, 17 minutes of ice time on the top line, second power play unit. So I think he can definitely pay off that 2.6 price tag. All right, the winger position. Patch is finally getting a little bit of respect here. So 8,100 is definitely a fair price tag for him. I think we know his upside. He's always has the 5 shot on goal upside here, and I think that's similar here. I prefer him over Stamkos, honestly. Just Stamkos, I think had a goal tonight, but I don't know. Just like on the road against Nashville, I know their PK is awful, so that's where you want to hopefully see them produce on the power play, Tampa Bay. But I just not really that thrilled with him right now at this price tag. So, and maybe that's just bad taste in my mouth from them really underperforming against Detroit. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, I think, is really intriguing. He has been actually not that great. Like, he's had those big games when the whole team went off, but when they're only scoring 3 or 4 goals, there's been a lot of times that Puljujärvi, who I didn't mention here, but he's 4.8, he's viable. He's just not putting up much of a floor. He's still getting like 20 minutes of ice time, but we're just not seeing the shots on goal from him. So, and that might be part of just because McDavid is shooting more. Like last year, we saw McDavid's average of shots on goal be closer to 2 to 3, and this year it's more in that 3 to 4 range. So maybe just him, wanting to take those shots more than dishing it to somebody like Hopkins is where we're seeing Hopkins' floor kind of going out the window. But he definitely has huge upside and somebody you can correlate directly with McDavid, as they will skate even strength and power play together. Mark Stone is a great correlated play with Patches up there, and honestly, a really nice cheaper pivot. I think you could play Stone and not worry about Pacioretty, and then maybe you play Shea Theodore, and then you're getting some correlation there, or you play Cody Glass for the power play correlation, or Stevenson. You can also go Carlson at the center position, who is skating on the top power play unit with Stone, Pacioretty, Theodore, and Glass. So, which is weird that right now they had 2 centers on the top line, or on the top power play unit, but it's just how they're running it. DeBrincat, don't love the matchup against Dallas, but the form is insane. It's like I don't know, over 20 in his last 2 games, but he's just had a phenomenal season in general, and he's not even skating with Kane. So it's just he is just kind of like put Chicago on his shoulders lately and just kept him in games and won them. And I think he had the game-winning goal in overtime on Sunday. So DeBrincat 6.6 is definitely in play. Here's where I talked about the Panthers. Hornquist and Huberdeau, 6.1 and 6K, both correlate on power play and even strength. So I think they are a good way to get some cheaper action on the Panthers if you don't want to use a center spot on Barkov and pay that price tag for him. Johnny Goudreau, Johnny Hockey would correlate with Lindholm on the power play, but I do like Goudreau just even as a one-off play. He's been really good this year, and a matchup with Winnipeg is a good one. So some value here. Riley Smith, 4.5K on the second line with Carlson and Marchessault, but I do just think he is, too good of a player to be at that price tag in a really good matchup. I think he can definitely get there. Dustin Brown, I'm really intrigued with. He got bumped down to the third line a lot this year, was still playing on the top power play unit and still honestly playing a ton of minutes. I think he was, like over skating into the fourth line, but now he's back up with Kopitar on the first line and Iaflalo. So I don't know. I just think 4.3 with somebody who's going to be attacking a lot and shoots the puck a lot, has a lot of power play, point equity. I think 4.3 is just too cheap for his caliber of player. Dominic Cahoon is somebody that you can use to pair with Leon Draisaitl, or just use him as a punt, honestly. But I feel like you might as well just pair him up with Draisaitl if you're going to use him. And then Terry, or I think it's Comtois for Anaheim. Both really cheap and viable. Terry's been was on the top line the last couple of games. I'm not sure. I didn't check if Getzlaf's back. I'm not really somebody I consider him, but even if he's on the top line, he likes to shoot. He's a really active offensive player. So defender position. So again, if you are still listening and remember what I said at the beginning, I want you to put in the comments below who your favorite point per dollar defenseman is. And I will randomly select a winner and make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like the video, and then I will get you that $10 coupon for an NHL free week. And if you are already a subscriber or a premium member to our NHL Discord channel, we will make sure that you get that credit as well. So love Shea Theodore. I'll just say this. I love Shea Theodore for how much he loves to shoot the puck. He creates a lot of high danger chances. He is super active, just everything you want about him. He's on the top power play unit. What has been really interesting without Pietrangelo, I thought his minutes would just go up. But he's honestly been really stagnant. He's still at 21, 22, 23 minutes. The guy that's soaking up all the time is over here in the mid-range is Alec Martinez, 5.6K, who has just become like the Alexander Edler of last year. Almost automatically 3-shot block shot bonus. But he's getting power play time in the second unit. He is putting shots on net. So Alec Martinez at 5.6K, I mean, I love him in cash. Point per dollar, he's a great play. So you're getting a $1,600 discount to him over Theodore. It does definitely make me consider Martinez more. Brent Burns is Brent Burns in a matchup with why can't I think of it now? Who is San Jose playing? They are playing LA, right? LA. My phone died. LA, I think. Yeah, I'll probably regret saying that. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's LA. So Roman Josi, 6K in a matchup against Tampa Bay is an okay matchup, but it's more of the price is 6K, so he's viable. So he's probably more GPP for me. But the next guy, Darnell Nurse, who is the cover man, is just on an absolute tear. And not only, he did get bumped off the top power play unit, which fine, whatever. If you want to downgrade him that much, sure. But Darnell Nurse is playing 25 minutes of ice time. He is just a shot on goal, block shot monster. I don't even, he's been, just look at his game logs. He's just been insane lately. And not only that, he's always been this kind of player. This is not just recency bias. He's always been a really good player. And now when he's finally getting that elevated role, it's just really hard to ignore him. So Ekblad would be a stackable play with Huberdeau and Hornquist. And then you have Tyson Barrie, who's also a phenomenal play at 5.7K. If I could play just 3 defensemen and just, I can, right? Darnell Nurse, Barrie, and Martinez, I would love that. Even Ellis is cheap for his role and ice time. But Barrie is on the top power play unit, had the 5-shot on goal bonus tonight. So he is showing that he has more of a floor than just being goal assist dependent with that top power play unit. So obviously we want to target the Oilers here. And I think at using both defensemen or all 3 with Martinez for Vegas, I love going that route. So in my mind, the answer to that question, who the best point per dollar defenseman is, I think it's Darnell Nurse, but I think Barrie and Martinez are really close behind. Then we get down to the value here. McDonough at 3.9K. The guy's skating 21, 22 minutes of ice time. He's had a goal and an assist recently. He'll get the 3-shot block shot bonus every once in a while, but not really a sexy pick, just somebody that you just can continue to go back to. And you're not going to get 0. You're probably going to get, 4 to 8 or somewhere in that range from him. So definitely a viable play. Haggy Hogg, one of the two. One of the defensemen that has had kind of an elevated role without Pietrangelo in there. 3.6K might be a little steep, but I think the defender position for value is really thin. So I think you can make a case for him. Anderson for LA has kind of just been Doty's like pairing partner, but has also just got more ice time than, many. It's like Doty is at like 26 to 28 minutes, and then Anderson's the next closest at like 22, so I like him. I think he's on the second power play unit. Cam Fowler, 3.3K. If you just have played DFS for a while, Cam Fowler has DFS ability. He's got some potential floor. He used to, skate a lot longer, a lot more. So I think he's a fine value dart. And then Claggy, Cloug, however you pronounce his name is for LA, 2.9K and he's been a decent floor play as well. So let's get into the goalie position, my least favorite position, but usually the position that has the most impact on the slates, right? That's why I like tiers, honestly. I don't have to worry about goalie, but goalie position, Leonard at home is going to be pretty popular at 8.4K against Anaheim. Bobrovsky against Detroit. I think he's a little bit more GPP to me just because no, I should take that back. The Panthers have been giving up shot volume. The problem is Detroit doesn't put a ton out there, and Florida's still kind of leaky. So like if he gives up 2 or 3 goals and they win 4-3, I don't think he was really worth paying 8.3K. So Koskinen, 8.2. I expect him to start after Smith starting tonight. Hopefully you played Smith. He was 6.5K minus 200 favorite. I think he was only owned like 30%, which is kind of insane. Like I don't know. People must not really pay close attention to line rushes or goalies coming out, but that was an easy lock and load. But Goudreau at 8.1K, I do like him at home against the Blackhawks. They just played a 2-1 game, but we know the Blackhawks will put bad shots on net and put some volume on net. So I think a home favorite like that, I think he's a viable play. Markstrom home for Calgary against Winnipeg. I think he is viable at 7.9 in kind of that mid-range. There's nothing really else I like in that mid-range. And then the value in Lincoln, I expect to start against Dallas. They won 2-1. So I think if they can hang with Dallas, I just think it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. So if there's enough shot volume on either side, then hopefully we can see one of these goalies pay off their price tags, or both of them, honestly. Gibson is a complete, GPP dart, or if you're just saying, hey, I'm just going to punt goalie and hopefully Gibson gives me 30 saves. And if he gives up 2 or 3 goals, then I just live with it. So, and then if he stands on his head and I get a shutout win, then you are taking down a GPP. So no surprise here with this first option of a stack. Now you can include Nurse on this stack. This is just more of the actual power play stack because, if you're stacking McDavid with Draisaitl, you're doing it because of the power play. And that gives you Nugent, Hopkins, and Barrie. And then, I don't know, just pay attention. If they might not skate this morning, but it's been James Neal. And then, I don't know, people want PRV up there. He's been pretty good lately. So, I don't know. If it's Neal, sure. I think he's like high 3K. But if not, I think he's on the 3rd or 4th line. So, it's not really great. I don't really love playing the dart power play 1 guy if he's not getting like even a line 3 role in even strength, which he might be line 3, but just hasn't been that good this year. The Vegas stack would be Pacioretty, Stone, Theodore, and then Glass would be the value to add to the power play. If you just want to stack even strength, you don't have to use Theodore. You could use Martinez because he's just going to play enough on the ice that he will definitely skate with these guys. And then if you want even strength stack, then you could also take out Glass and add in Stevenson. A value stack I really like, and Kane's not like super cheap or anything, but Couturier, LeBlanc, I think are going to be super low owned, and I think they have really nice upside. And then the other stack again is not like mega cheap, like Doty and Kopitar are both over 6K, but the value in Brown, Iaflalo, and Kempe in this power play stack against San Jose, who gives up a lot of goals, I think is a nice kind of like cheaper and GPP pivot from the top 2 on top. Obviously, other pay up stacks that you can use is somebody like Tampa Bay, Point, Stamkos, Hedman, Palat. One other stack that is another kind of mid-range stack that I didn't talk about here, with Duchesne moving into that role with Forsberg and Arvidsson, you're getting 3 guys that are going to be like Forsberg's like 5.5, Duchesne's 4.6, Arvidsson's like 5K. And then if you pair him up with Yossi or Ellis, who I think lately they both have been on the top power play unit. So I think, that's a really nice stack. Now they're at home, not in the best matchup against Tampa Bay, but I think you could definitely use them with maybe even, one of these stacks on the bottom. You go 2 mid-range stacks. So that's kind of where I'm at. And again, thanks for listening, guys. Like I just totally appreciate it. Like the likes, the comments, the tweets, all the support you guys are bringing is just phenomenal. And we have so much going on at FSI DFS at FSI Fantasy Sports Insight. Like we have NASCAR out there now, PGA. One of our good guys, Eddie Kruger, one of our esports guys, is looking to do a Call of Duty video as professional Call of Duty starts here on Thursday. Gator Guy is just pumping out the soccer content and is looking to even get on some bigger platforms here for us. So be on the lookout for that. But again, comment below with your favorite point per dollar defenseman. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll be entered into just a quick drawing for $10 a week of NHL content here at FSIDFS.com. And I will be pumped to see you in that Discord channel. Like I said, if you're already a subscriber, you can still do it, or a paid member in that channel, and we will get you a credit for that. So thanks a lot for listening, guys. See you later. Have a good night.